It began as a puzzle stretching across an entire continent. For decades, scientists tracing the footsteps of early humans in Europe had followed a story that flowed in one direction, from east to west. In the lands of Georgia, the site of Dmanisi offered some of the earliest evidence of humans venturing beyond Africa: primitive tools, ancient bones, and the unmistakable signs of migration. These finds had long shaped the belief that humanity's first European chapter began in the East. But in the West, the story was different, fragmented, uncertain, and incomplete. Fossil traces were scarce, scattered across layers of time. For years, archaeologists searched for clues that could fill the silence of Western Europe's deep past. Now that silence has been broken. In the heart of Spain, a discovery has emerged that could rewrite the entire timeline of early human presence in Europe. To understand its magnitude, we must return to the beginning, Africa, the birthplace of humankind. It was there that the earliest members of the hominin family evolved from ape-like ancestors, developing upright posture, larger brains, and the ability to craft tools. Among them arose one of the most transformative species in our lineage, Homo erectus. Around 1.8 million years ago, this bold explorer became the first human to leave Africa. Unlike its predecessors, Homo erectus possessed a more human-like body built for endurance, a greater intelligence, and a mastery of the Acheulean hand axe, a versatile tool that symbolized a new level of innovation. Their migration marked a turning point in human history. Following the Levantine corridor, a natural land bridge connecting Africa to Eurasia, Homo erectus spread eastward across Asia. Fossil evidence has traced their path from Dmanisi in Georgia to Zhoukoudian in China, home of the legendary Peking man, and even to the distant island of Java, where the remains of Trinil man were unearthed. These discoveries painted a picture of a species that thrived across continents, adaptable to climates ranging from tropical jungles to frozen steppes. But one question remained unanswered. Did Homo erectus ever reach the westernmost edges of Europe? And if so, when? For decades, the evidence was unclear. The fossils found in Western Europe seemed younger, belonging to later species such as Homo antecessor, a possible ancestor of both Neanderthals and modern humans. Remains of Homo antecessor in Spain, dated between 1.2 million and 800,000 years ago, suggested that humans had reached the region far later than the East. That assumption, however, has just been challenged by a new discovery, one that could shift the map of human evolution and reveal that the story of Europe's earliest inhabitants began far earlier than anyone dared imagine. For decades, scientists believed they knew who the first humans in Western Europe were. The species Homo antecessor had long been hailed as the earliest known inhabitant of the region. A distant relative of both Neanderthals and modern humans, and a key chapter in Europe's prehistoric story. The Iberian Peninsula, and especially the Atapuerca Mountains of northern Spain, has always stood at the center of that story. Within its ancient limestone ridges lies a labyrinth of caves, natural vaults preserving hundreds of thousands of years of human evolution. Sites like Grandolina and Cima de los Huesos, the legendary pit of bones, have yielded a wealth of fossils that helped shape our understanding of early European life. But deep within another chamber, a site known as Cima del Elefante, the pit of the elephant, a new discovery has now rewritten everything we thought we knew. During an excavation there, a team of researchers uncovered the fragile remains of a skull, fragments from the left side of the face, including the upper jaw and cheekbone. At first, it seemed simple enough, another specimen of Homo antecessor. But as the scientists examined the fossil more closely, the pieces began to tell a different story. They nicknamed the skull Pink, a playful nod to Pink Floyd's classic album The Dark Side of the Moon, an appropriate name for a discovery that would illuminate one of the darkest, least-known corners of human history. When the team reconstructed the face, they were stunned by what they saw. It didn't resemble Homo antecessor at all. Where antecessor had a relatively flat vertical face, not unlike our own, this new face was robust, forward-projecting, and unmistakably ancient. Its heavy structure looked far closer to our much older ancestor, Homo erectus. This single distinction changed everything. The fossil, dated to at least 1.4 million years ago, was far older than any known Homo antecessor remains. It suggested that Homo erectus, or a closely related lineage, was the first human species to set foot in Western Europe, arriving hundreds of thousands of years earlier than anyone had believed. Still, there were subtleties. Some features didn't match the classic Homo erectus profile exactly. To reflect that nuance, researchers assigned the fossil a new classification, Homo erectus af, the term affinis meaning similar to in Latin. It acknowledges the fossil's strong resemblance to Homo erectus while leaving room for the possibility that it represents a distinct, though closely related branch of our family tree. Analysis showed that Pink was an adult, its molars worn from a lifetime of chewing. But with only a few fragments to study, the team could not yet determine whether the individual was male or female. Future paleoproteomic studies, analyzing ancient proteins preserved in tooth enamel, may one day reveal the answer. Yet the true significance of this discovery reaches far beyond the bones themselves. The Cima del Elefante site also contains a rich layer of artifacts, stone tools, animal remains, and traces of ancient activity. Clues that hint at how these early Europeans lived, hunted, and survived at the very edge of the known world. And as new fossils continue to emerge from the red earth of Atapuerca, each fragment carries the same unspoken promise: that the deeper we dig into the past, the closer we come to uncovering the first footsteps of humanity in Europe and the origins of us all. Deep beneath the red earth of northern Spain, the evidence of an ancient world continues to emerge. Among the layers of rock and time, researchers uncovered simple stone tools, rough flakes, and sharp-edged implements crafted from quartzite, chert, and limestone, all sourced from the surrounding landscape. They may appear primitive, but these tools reveal something extraordinary: the technological skill and resourcefulness of the first humans to set foot in Western Europe. Nearby, the bones of ancient animals bore distinct cut marks, clear traces of butchery. These early humans weren't mere scavengers. They were hunters and survivors, using tools to strip meat from bone, shaping stone to sustain life in a harsh and unforgiving world. But it was the discovery of the facial fossil, Pink, as researchers nicknamed it, that truly shattered the timeline. Until now, the dominant theory held that Europe had been colonized in successive waves, with Homo antecessor arriving roughly 860,000 years ago. This new fossil, however, told a different story. It was far older, dating back at least 1.4 million years, suggesting that human populations were present in Europe hundreds of thousands of years earlier than anyone had imagined. This revelation forces us to reconsider not just when early humans arrived, but where they came from. Some scientists believe these ancient pioneers migrated from Africa, crossing through the Middle East before pushing westward into the European frontier. Others propose a more complex picture: that early human groups may have persisted in Eastern Europe, surviving glacial ages in isolated refuges before slowly spreading back into the continent. Whatever their origin, their presence here marks a turning point in the human story. Proof that early humans were far more resilient, adaptable, and widespread than we ever believed. This discovery opens an entirely new chapter in our understanding of prehistory. It raises profound questions. Were these early hominins the direct ancestors of later European humans, or an isolated lineage that vanished without a trace? Did they interbreed with other species of ancient humans, sharing knowledge and survival skills? Or were they replaced by later waves of migration, leaving behind only fragments of stone and bone as their final testimony? As excavations at Cima del Elefante continue, scientists hope to find more fossils, more clues buried in the silence of deep time. Each discovery brings us closer to answering the ultimate question: when did humanity truly begin its conquest of Europe?